What is up guys, Dub Gaming here. In this video I'm going to try rebuild the 2010-2011 Houston Rockets, where this is a fairly decent team with Yao Ming, Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, Kyle Lowry and Aaron Brooks, but I'm going to try rebuild them. That's going to mean getting rid of the old players and getting some good new players in. We tried Kevin Martin and Yao Ming start both on 1 year contracts for Swaggy P and Gilbert Arenas. We then trade both of them for the Knicks pick this year and Wilson Chandler. We then trade Luis Scola, who's on $2 million a year and we won't really be able to afford him, for Gordon Hayward, a player for the future. So our team's not very good in the first season. When I say not very good, I mean really not very good. We started off on a fairly bad record, but end up losing 25 games in a row to end the year, to end up worse than this year's 76ers. Brown with MVP, John Wall Rookie of the Year, Nicholas Batum 6th man, Defensive Player of the Year Dwight Howard, and Devin Harris is Most Improved Player. Coach of the Year Billy Donovan, because the Thunder, unlike in real life, had a really good 2011 year. So pretty much the all-defense teams are what you expect, but Paul George as a rookie made the all-defensive first team, which is surprising enough. So we simulate through the playoffs. The big three of Boston are still relevant. Big three of Miami actually end up losing to Chicago, whereas they beat them that year in the Eastern Conference. They end up losing. But the funny thing is, the Cavaliers without LeBron actually make the playoffs, being led by Mo Williams, Baron Davis and Antoine Jameson. So obviously the Baron Davis trade wasn't made and Cleveland never got LA's pick. The Bulls actually end up winning the title and Joakim Noah gets Finals MVP. So we have a 25% chance at the first pick and we have another pick number 14 from the Jazz. So far everything's going to plan. So we kind of really want the number 1 pick in this draft because obviously it's Kyrie Irving. So far it's looking like we could easily get it. 3 picks to go. Number 3 is all going to plan, and the Bobcats end up with the number 1 pick, or Charlotte Hornets in this. So we have the trade. We really want Kyrie, so we trade Wilson Chandler, Gerald Green, our next year's first round pick, our year after's first round pick, and a second round pick for the first pick. So obviously we select Kyrie Irving, and we still have the second pick. So who are we going to select? Select Kawhi Leonard. We then trade the 11th pick we got from Washington and the Knicks pick for Bismack Biyombo and the 2017 pick from the Bucks, and then we also trade for 2017 pick from the 76ers, because obviously it's the Anthony Davis draft and I want to stockpile up draft picks. So this year's free agency was dominated by pretty much 2 players, Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard, because obviously Kobe's going to go back to LA, and for some reason we managed to sign both of them, so Dwight ends up in Houston regardless. Sign John Salmons, Wesley Matthews, Brandon Bass in free agency just to strengthen up the team. So this is what our team's looking like. Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Kawhi Leonard, Melo, Dwight Howard, Bismack Biyombo, Brandon Bass, Wesley Johnson, John Salmons and Patrick Patterson. So it's looking like a team that has a legitimate chance of competing, if not this year, in 2 or 3 years. You have to remember, at this stage Dwight Howard was the best centre in the game, and it was looking like he could have been one of the best centres of all time. Melo was a superstar. Melo could score with pretty much anyone, and when he had a defensive player like Tyson Chandler backing him up in New York, he was able to focus on his offense, and with someone like Dwight Howard there, he'll be getting way more shots up. He doesn't hog the ball as much as James Harden, so it's not going to affect Dwight as much. So obviously we're not going to take any trades because of how strong this team is. So we end up having a very good year. Pretty much 60 wins, which is extremely good with a young team, and we've got with 2 superstars. But even though we have the best record in the NBA, we don't have anyone on any of the All-NBA teams except Melo on the 3rd team. So straight away we're up against the Utah Jazz. Not too difficult, the playoff series, we end up sweeping them. And for some reason, Minnesota are 4th seeds. So having not made the playoffs in about 12 years, is it? They end up being the 4th seed in this simulation, with Ricky Rubio as a rookie. So we go 2-1 up against the Golden State Warriors, but in the end we lose 4-2. Miami Heat against the Warriors in the final, and just like in real life, the Miami Heat winning 5 games, with LeBron having 44 points in the last game. Jason Kidd being a member of this team, although he didn't win with the Mavericks the year before, ends up winning a ring with the Miami Heat. LeBron actually averaged nearly 40 points, 9 rebounds and 9 assists in the finals, which would cement his legacy as one of the best players of all time. So in this year's draft, we're predicted to have the 6th pick and the 2nd pick due to our trades last year in the draft. So it's looking like those trades have worked out well for us. Everything goes to plan. We end up with the 6th pick so far. So we're predicted to have the 3rd pick here, and it ends up going to the Wizards, who have the worst record in the NBA. So in the end, we end up with the 2nd pick and the Knicks with the 1st pick, which isn't really good enough for us because there's only one massive superstar in this draft we want, and we don't want Lillard because we have Kyrie already. So we have to trade Wesley Johnson, the 2nd pick, our pick in 2 years' time, and 3 second-round picks for the number 1 pick. And even though this draft was a fairly deep draft with players like Damian Lillard, Dion Waiters at the time looked good, Bradley Beal, MKG, we decided to go with the one franchise-changing player, Anthony Davis. The 2nd pick, Knicks pick Lillard. Bradley Beal's picked by the Wizards, just like in real life. With the Cavaliers actually pick Austin Rivers instead of Dion Waiters. Harrison Barnes goes to the Celtics at 5. And with the 6th pick, we pick Andre Drummond. Yep. In free agency, the only people we sign are Joe Ingles and Pablo Prigioni to just fill in roster spots they're not going to play. So this is what our team is looking like. We've got Kyrie Irving at the 1, Kawhi at the 2, Melo at the 3, Anthony Davis at the 4, Howard at the 5, Gordon Hayward as 6th man, Bismack Biyombo, Andre Drummond, Patrick Beverley, and Joe Ingles off the bench. Take out Ingles and that is a super team. So obviously we start off really extremely well. There's no real surprise there. It is possibly the best team of all time. So we end up just not as well as the Warriors are doing this year anyway. The Warriors did this year to start off. With 96 team chemistry as well, this team doesn't look like it's going to lose anytime soon. So we end up doing well into the All-Star break. 45-6, really, really good record. Trade deadline, obviously we're not going to trade anyone. We end up getting blown out twice in a row by the Clippers and the Suns, but all that does is fuel our run to end the season, and we end the season on a 20-game winning streak. LeBron James with MVP, 30-11. Anthony Davis with Rookie of the Year, 15-12 and 2.5 blocks, which is incredible for a rookie. Joakim Noah, Defensive Player of the Year for the Hawks, not the Bulls, and Kevin McHale, Coach of the Year. So we have no one on the All-NBA first team, even though we got 73 wins. Melo on the 2nd team and Kyrie Irving on the 3rd team. Then on the All-Defensive teams, we have nobody on the All-NBA, All-Defensive first team or 2nd team. On the All-Rookie first team, we have obviously Rookie of the Year Anthony Davis, and we have Andre Drummond on the All-Rookie 2nd team. So we end up 73-9, 20 wins above the next best team in the NBA, the Miami Heat. Obviously, no one really outstanding scoring wise because we've got Melo and Irving averaging over 20, Howard and Davis averaging over 15, Kawhi with 13.2 points a game, Hayward with 12. And this team, essentially, they're sharing the sugar. A lot of people are scoring even amounts. No one's scoring superstar numbers. It doesn't really matter when your team's winning 73 games. Even Patrick Beverley chipping in with 2.9 points a game. And I assume he's played decent enough defense throughout the year. So we face the Utah Jazz team, who are led by Al Jefferson, and we end up sweeping them. Team's not not up to our standard anyway, with Kirilenko, Al Jefferson, Paul Millsap, who at the time hadn't really cemented himself as a star in the league like he is now. So next round we're against the Pelicans, who actually, well, the Hornets from back then. Chris Paul ends up staying with them. They have David West, and DeAndre Jordan actually ends up there, so there's probably a Lob City in New Orleans. We end up sweeping them as well. And next round we're against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are the 2nd seed in the West this year. With Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, Michael Beasley seems to have started to live up to his potential. They managed to draft Klay Thompson, and they've got Danny Green and Ty Lawson, and also Roy Hibbert playing the 5 instead of Nikola Pekovic. Surprisingly enough, Ty Lawson was actually drafted by the Timberwolves, but they traded him away to the Denver Nuggets. So, and this is weird because he actually ends up going back to the Timberwolves. So who knows, maybe he was a great player before he went to the Rockets. Who knows, maybe if he had been on a better team or even stayed at Denver, he would have ended up being a good player throughout his NBA career and not just for the start of it. He looks like he's done. But also with players like Klay Thompson stepping up, even Tyler Hansbrough, role players like Hansbrough, Luke Babbitt, this is an extremely strong team. They end up taking game 2 in Houston. We end up getting home court advantage straight back and end up winning 4-2 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Bulls actually make the NBA Finals. So 2 years after they win the title, they make the NBA Finals. Pacers end up beating the Heat, led by Joe Johnson, Charlie Villanueva, and Paul George. The Heat, even though they got the big three and Elton Brand, just can't seem to beat the Pacers this year, even though they did in real life. The Bulls, D Rose, Kyle Korver, it's not really that good a team. They've got Ben Wallace, who's very old at this stage. They don't have Joakim Noah. They don't have Taj Gibson. And in the end, we go 3-0 up against the Rockets. So we take a 20-point lead at the start of the second quarter of this game to pretty much end it. It pretty much cemented that we've won a ring in the 3rd season. This Houston Rockets team, of course, was going to win a ring because it was exceptional. But in the end, they end up with a 118-point game to win the NBA championship. So a team with Kyrie, Kawhi Leonard, Carmelo, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, Gordon Hayward, Bismack Biyombo, Andre Drummond, Patrick Beverley. Surely this team's going to win plenty of rings for years to come. Even in his 2nd year in the league, Kyrie Irving with Finals MVP. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.